Hey folks, today I'm going to be making what might be my last video on the Strength Stack Brewmaster. Unless some major new developments happen, I think this is where we're going to park it and call it a day. So anyway, the build I think is pretty much finished. I actually played the build twice. I have one I got to rank 12 CUF and another one I got to rank 12 MG just to give myself a bit of a wider perspective on the game. So here we are, this is my MG character. Anyway, if you got a chance to play the build and found it fun, or if you just want to support me making content like this, please consider leaving a like on the video. And yeah, let's roll the clip on the boss kill.
Potential, or Abyss would have welcomed you. You fight for nothing. The void comes. Weak and worthless. Weak and worthless. See the beauty we were denied. Terror turned her back on us.
No master greater than Orbis.
So
You are nothing.
the void comes. Weak and worthless. The gods tore our world apart. They deserve their fates. Darkness reigns. We are worthless. We treated the world no better. Death is our legacy. Die! You will be forgotten. The void comes. Die! Weak and worthless. Die! The void hungers. The world called to Orbis. This is his answer. The void comes. Hope will not save you. You fight for nothing. Weak and worthless. Weak and worthless. The void.
So yeah, that's the Uber Aberroth kill with the build. I do want to be fully transparent. There is a bug, and the bug is basically the damage bonus from Frostwall is permanently on, which is a little bit unfortunate. What that ends up resulting in is somewhere around 40% more damage. You lose the ability to direct cast with the bug, so there's the damage bonus from that you don't get, and some Frostwall damage bonus. But yeah, you gain the permanent damage buff from Frostwall. I did make a bug report on the forums with this, so hopefully it does get fixed. Yoshi has also made a statement that they are looking to fix snapshotting in Season 3, so there's a lot of builds currently using snapshotting, so it'll be nice to see that finally addressed. And kind of a big reason why I'm put off from the build is I know if I'm not using the bug, I'm just playing a worse version of what's currently possible for the build. And if I am using the bug, it just feels everything I'm doing is tainted by the bug. So yeah, that's kind of like a bad feeling. I'm not super happy about that. It kind of makes me want to go figure something else out, try and find a new build, and hopefully we can come up with something really cool. But yeah, for now, we'll give some final thoughts on the build. This is where we're at. This is my current character. So here's the helm. We have T7 strength, T6 shock. This is costing us something like 50 or 60% shock chance versus if this was a T7. We do have the strength, but we basically don't have suffixes. It's a pretty nice helm though. We have our mana guide. We got the T7 elemental damage over time. This is probably what you want on your amulet, just because the diminishing returns on the shock and the values being so much higher here. Frailty is pretty good. If you're close range, you're hitting the boss quite a bit with like the focus, the lightning blast that come out of it, the flame rush and stuff. So you should be applying your frailties. Then we have the cleaver. I hit a T7, T6. Unfortunately, the rolls are not that great on the exalted affixes. Then we have the chest piece. The lightning pen is a pretty significant amount of damage. This is a pretty good chest piece. These are very cheap in MG. Making something like this is like almost free. Then we have Bastion of Honor. I have block effect on this. Another one is the Majasa Shield, gives you better DOT mitigation, which is actually pretty strong. And then finally, I don't have red rings on MG. I have them on COF, but yeah, I just haven't bothered to get them on MG. So here we are. The Jolra Star Dial actually gives you quite a bit of strength. So if you see here, we have 236, and then this buff, as long as you reapply brand before the buff ends, you continue doing the damage as if you have the full amount of strength. So 236 strength. If I apply brand again before the buff runs out, we have something like 7 or 8 seconds of uptime on the damage basically, instead of normally like 4-ish, just because it's a DOT. So that's kind of cool. As long as you don't overwrite it, you get quite a bit of damage out of that. So yeah, I'm using 2 of these. They are pretty good if you're going like full DPS. Then we have the belt. This is kind of bad, but we do have cleanse, which is nice. You can see I'm also not crit reduction capped here. I only have a little bit here. It's probably a lot easier to get crit avoid capped, because you can get some on the helm, and then the blessing, just the helm and the blessing is enough to have you capped. If you have red rings for resist, then you can do that, and then you're resist capped and crit avoid capped, so that's really easy. The crit mitigation is a little bit harder to get because we don't have the catalyst with the Runemaster node to get extra crit mitigation, so it is a little bit hard to fit reduced bonus cap in this. You know, we have a lot of armor, we have a lot of phys res, we have a lot of hit mitigation and block and stuff, so I felt it wasn't like super important to be crit reduction capped, at least for this boss. Then we have Blood of the Exile. I tried to get 2 LP here, but I failed all of them. I also have one with move speed. If you're doing clears, you probably want move speed. If you're doing bossing, the damage is pretty good from strength. Then we have our Twisted Heart, just to give as much strength as possible. The Uber Relic is also quite good, gives you perma haste and all attributes and stuff. It's pretty strong. For the gloves, we're using the Immortal Vise. This is the drop from Uber Aberroth. Because of MG, I was able to buy it before I killed the boss. But they're not super mandatory. The main reason I'm taking them is just for the strength. The hit mitigation is nice, and the base type is also pretty nice, but if you don't have this, you can get something like Weaver Gloves, has all attribute and strength. You can get a pretty good one. Eternal Gauntlets, ideally you want something like T7 strength with some armor dot mitigation, and then you can finish capping out your crit bonus reduction here if you want. For gloves, basically you just want strength and armor. And then idols, it's just a bunch of shock here, and then filling out resist, ward retention if you can get it. The idols are pretty strong. In blessings, we have XP, we have resist, more resist, armor, phys res. My gear was better. This could be percent armor, and then shock. This could even be armor while channeling. It probably should be. And here's our passives. They're pretty much the same as my build guide. I haven't really changed much. Then the skills are also pretty much the same. Flame Word we're using for a damage boost because we get the lightning damage. Actually missing a point here. I didn't bother to level it up before the fight. Then we have Flame Rush here, applying Lightning Shred because we have Shock from Lagon. We don't have Lightning Shred there. And you're kind of just spamming this on the boss for damage. Then we have Frost Wall. There's a bunch of stuff in here. The chilled, I'm not using it for the damage buff here, but you can. It'll get you a little bit more damage, but the snap freeze is nice to cancel the boss's attack animations. And then the flame ward is nice for the defense and then also the little damage buff. And then finally focus, we're grabbing all the DR, the armor stuff. The haste, if you don't have the relic, the haste is really nice because you're, every time you hit Flame Rush, you're basically giving yourself haste and then you're perma hasted. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Not really much else to say. As always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.